Hi friends, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK and welcome to episode 5 of my 6x6x6 paper pad series. If you're not sure, if you're new to my channel, haven't seen this series, any of the other videos in this series yet, then this is a 6x6 paper pad series over 6 weeks. So there's 3 videos a week, so there'll be 18 videos in total using up 6x6 paper pads. So today I've chosen to use the Oh My Heart collection from Paige Evans, and this has been hanging around in my stash for quite a while. I've used quite a bit of it, but this is a perfect opportunity for me to try and use up some of my supplies, because let's face it, we all like to buy new supplies. So I started just by grabbing some of the pattern papers, and I was very strategic in terms of the ones that I'd chosen for this layout, and I start to cut 1-inch strips, and I'd used a combination of the floral, a geometric pattern, a word pattern, the green paper, which I wouldn't use on any other layout because I only want small amounts of it, and also the sock paper that again I'd really struggle to use on another layout. So I'm just cutting these all down into 1-inch strips. I did a 2-inch strip to start with, and it was just too much, so I've got all of these 1-inch strips here. So only a small amount of them are going to be seen, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I start by just grabbing some white cardstock, and I seem to have disappeared somewhere. Oh, here we go. And I've just got a scrap piece of 12x12 pattern paper that's not going to be used on a layout. And this particular one is a really thin piece of paper, but it's fine. It's not going to be seen. It's only going to be used to support the middle of this layout. So I'm just gutting the middle of my cardstock, leaving about a 1-inch strip the whole way round, and random sequin. And yeah, I'm going to end up cutting just a little bit off this backing paper because it is poking out and I can't bother to trim it afterwards. So just taking a 1/2-inch strip off of each side, and it'll make it a lot easier for me to mount effectively my white frame onto that. Just using my ATG. We're friends currently, so it's working for me. So we are currently on speaking terms. How long that will last, I'm not 100% sure. Now, what I would have liked to have done with this is with the end result, I did want to stitch around it, but sewing machine packed up, ready for the move, so that is not happening. I might go back and do it later. I keep saying that, but let's face it, who actually eventually goes back and adds finishing touches? I never seem to have time to do it, but I'd like to. So all I'm doing here, those 1-inch strips, I'm just using, you can see half of it is over the white area and half of it is over the yellow area, and I'm just making sure that I've got some of that pattern paper poking out into the white area. If it's not going to be seen, because what's going to happen is after these are all laid back down, all you're going to see is the pattern papers poking out, because I am going to lay the white cardstock that I've gutted back on top of this. So I was just going to go with strips of paper, and it just looked a bit bulky and clunky, and I just wanted some more interest. So I go through a mixture of paper tearing, and I'm just leaving some as they are, and I really like the effect that gives. I love tearing paper. I just love the sort of the white inner showing. It just gives another element to the design. And yeah, part of the reason I've used some of these papers are they're not going to make it onto another layout. So this sock paper, in small portions, you're not really going to notice that it's sock paper. And so I decided to use it on this, and yeah, it's getting used up. Same as that green paper, the green stripy one. I'm not going to use it on another layout, but in small portions it's fine. So as I said, a mixture of text paper, the floral, stripes and colours that in small amounts I can cope with, and just adding those in the whole way round. And I'm just going to speed up that last little bit there. And again, it's been super hot today, so my fan is going whilst I'm scrapping this layout, and there's bits of paper blowing everywhere. but it's fine, I managed to make it work. So here is where I'm just coming back in with the bit of white cardstock that I originally gutted, and I'm just going to stick that back down where it's come out of. And there we have the pattern papers all poking out from behind that. So this is strange because I come in with a little bit of a doodly border first, but I just wanted to get this bit out of the way. So I just used a black fine line pen in a 0.8, nice thick nib to go all the way around, just to outline where my area is. And this is the photograph that I'm going to scrap. This is me when I was younger. I used to love that dress. And I think I picked up these sunglasses from an uncle. We used to have super cool family parties. I used to love the family parties, and it would be a proper knees up black lace, you know, Agadoo, the Birdie song, Oops Upside Your Head. It used to be brilliant. Yeah, my parents always used to buy me a new dress for the party. So this particular one I loved, and this layout's going to be pretty simple. There's not really much of a story to tell. I always say this, I might go back and add journaling. There's, like I said, there's not a great story, but I know that I do need to do a lot more journaling on my layouts. Perhaps that could be a new series. Perhaps that could be my series after this. Who knows? If you'd like that, then do let me know in the comments down below. Because I will be looking at what my next series will be. I am looking at keeping up a different series each time, so do leave any suggestions that you've got. I've got a few people that have sort of left suggestions on my previous Washi Wednesday videos as to what you'd like to see next. And yeah, I'm always looking for ideas as to, you know, what inspiration you guys are looking for, and, you know, what would be helpful to you. It's okay me scrapping a random layout to show you every week, or a couple every week, but you know, I'd rather do something that, you know, is really going to help you actually use your stash. And thank you so much actually for all of the kind feedback that you've given me for the layout so far in this series, and also from the Washi Wednesday series as well. You all seem to really be enjoying these mini series. Well, they're not so mini actually. I'm doing 8. Well, Washi Wednesday was 20 videos. This is going to be 18, so they're not so mini. But they are designed in order for you to really get a chunk of your stash used, not just sort of the odd little bit here and there. So whilst I've been chatting away, I've added on a couple of chipboard pieces. Just that little arrow, chevron arrow thingy majiggy bobby at the top there. And that's just to bring some of that coloured pattern from the bottom up to the top, because it's very green up there. So I'm just going through the ephemera pack, just seeing what I've got left. And I tend to keep loose ephemera if it's sort of fallen out of the packet. I tend to keep it in one of these little, I think it's a 5x5, 6x6 maybe. What's it called? A vinyl sleeve that you put records in, and they're very cheap. You can buy them off eBay. That's where I got mine, and it's perfect to store scraps of paper and also loose ephemera as well. And yeah, I'm just adding in some embellishments around my photo, really just trying to tone some of that green down. It certainly isn't one of my go-to colours, so I do end up covering up that bit to the right. I just found it a bit distracting to the eye, so putting the florals there really helps. So I'm just going through the sticker book. I'm using all of the same collection for this, by the way, if I didn't mention. And I just add in the sticker that says I woke up like this. And I'm really struggling to use these ones up, to be honest. I don't know why. I mean, there's cups and nail polishes and watches, and yeah, it's just a bit of a difficult one, but I am trying to embrace the random ephemera. So during this series, or random stickers or whatever's random, I am trying to embrace it and just go with it. Not actually worry too much about what relevance it has on my layout, because let's face it, florals have no relevance to my layout. particularly. So just going with it. So I'm just coming in with the puffy stickers, and this is going to be my final element. So thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps me be found by other YouTube subscribers. And I'll see you all back here for episode 6 on Friday. And if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe and I'll see you then. Thanks for your support. Bye for now. Bye.